Hello YouTube, welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration, part 4 of our special motor project. Today we're going to install the bottom end, the crankshaft, so stay tuned, let's get her done. On our last episode, we covered getting the heads on the block and obviously getting the zoomies mounted up. And we got these heads cleaned. If you remember, the intake was just black. It was horrible. It literally had 50 plus years of clay from the racetrack and oil mixed in with it. And I didn't want to go down to my brother's shop. He's about an hour and 15 minutes away. He's got a bee blaster that I'd gotten from a company a long time ago, and he uses it on his stuff down there, but it's 3-hour round trip. So I got to do a few reviews on the internet, and I was seeing what Harbor Freight had, and I went up there and bought this $34, this is called a portable abrasive blaster kit. And I did buy the $70, 50 pound, $70 value of glass beads. And y'all, I cannot tell you how well it worked. I mean, that intake looks fantastic. Harbor Freight is not known for having the best stuff in the world, but in this application, it was perfect. Now, I wouldn't want to go sandblast a bridge with it or anything, but it even made this intake, I'm sorry, God, here I go again. It made this water pump look very, very nice. And that's one my brother had down there. He gave me the timing cover as well. I think in the last episode, I called that a valve cover. Obviously, I know it's a timing cover, but I had to beat that around a little bit, straighten that up, got all the glue. Somebody put a bunch of silicone on it, got that cleaned up now. And actually, I think it was Permatex on there, but we got that all cleaned up. But I cannot tell you how pleased I am with a little $34 bead blaster. And then, like I say, the glass beads, they were expensive. But to do this, I literally used about 2 cups of sand or glass beads, maybe 3 cups. And I was able to reclaim probably 3/4 or more of that and actually put back into my container. Excuse me. But that really worked well. Now, I stuck these valve covers on. This is a high dollar set of aluminum valve covers. These are brand new, never been run. I don't want to use those just yet. So a friend of mine had these little cheap steel ones. We're going to paint those orange. I'm also going to cut this off. I'm going to probably going to go try to see if I can find a freeze plug that'll fit over top. We're going to cut these down and weld freeze plugs down and just block that off. But we're going to have orange valve covers, of course, aluminum heads, aluminum intake, aluminum water pump, then an orange block, and an orange oil pan. So that's going to be the plan. So until we get on that, we've got to, before we get the crank and oil pan on, we got to get everything tore down. So let's get going on that and see if we can rip this thing apart real quick and hopefully see if my plan on this crankshaft is going to work. So let's get started. Got all the main caps off, and I'm gonna grab this crankshaft and see if it'll fit in there. This was a pretty good, nice crank. It's been knife edged and pretty nice, except for this rod still attached. There we go. We got a couple of different options here on trying to lighten this motor up. Again, it's just a dummy motor. It doesn't need to be heavy. What I'm thinking I'm going to do, as crazy as it sounds, originally was going to cut it back here on these mains crankshaft mains, but I think I'm actually gonna cut it right behind this front main and right in front of the rear main. And I'm actually gonna put a piece of pipe in there. That's a crazy idea, but just to keep the two, keep everything in place, because we are gonna have our harmonic balancer in front of us. So let's see if we get the crank out and see if we can get it over here and see if we can cut it. Got our crankshaft out. We're gonna see if this grinder will cut it. It's gonna take a little while, so we'll just see what happens. There you go. That's how you cut a crank in two. So let's get this other side cut. Woo. There you go. Man, look at all the weight we saved. Wow. All right, we got our two pieces of our crank. We're gonna put this back in here, back in the back. Put a rear main cap on. I tell you, I'm honestly believing this is probably going to be the lightest weight crank ever made in the history of mankind. That puppy's still warm. Man, look how free that spins. All right, let's get this tightened down, and then we will get us a measurement for our main crank. All right. Let's see what we're going to do about a crankshaft here. I'd say about 17.5 inches. Actually about 17.75. All right, I got our crankshaft cut here. If we can get her in here. Oh yeah, perfect. And we're just gonna weld this puppy up. I got to thinking, I bet this crankshaft turned 40,000 RPMs. That should do it. Look at that. Isn't she a beauty? You tell me, which one of these do you think will turn the most RPMs? I think this one will. Okie dokie, we can tighten our main bolts up now and go ahead and slap the oil pan on it next. Make sure you always set these to the proper foot pounds. Now we'll grab our oil pan. Hopefully I hope this is going to clear the crank. Wow. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, we'll put some bolts in this thing, flip it over and see if we can get it cleaned up now. Let ProGlow do some of the dirty work here, literally. All right, we got a little bit of paint on here now. Still got to take the oil pan back off, and we will have to put the timing cover on, then put the oil pan back on. But I'll put another coat of paint on it, And that should be good to go. We'll start doing final assembly. You can see a lightweight crank in there. Real proud of that, how that turned out. That's pretty nice. Well, that completes all the fabrication and paint on the motor, and we are ready for assembly, and we will do that on the next episode. As always, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys who have subscribed to the channel. Continue to grow every day. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Don't forget to hit that like button and that notification bell. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you. You take care.